In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on February 26, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Boston Celtics versus Detroit Pistons. Eastern Conference teams are set to face off on the parquet floor in Detroit as the Boston Celtics take on the Detroit Pistons on Wednesday night. This matchup promises to be an intriguing battle between two teams looking to build momentum as the season progresses. The Celtics were in action on the road against the Toronto Raptors in an Atlantic Division showdown on Tuesday night. Prior to that, they secured a solid 118-105 victory over the New York Knicks on Sunday afternoon, covering the spread as 7.5-point favorites. On the other side, the Pistons are coming off a strong 106-97 home win against the Los Angeles Clippers on Monday night, where they also covered the line as 3-point favorites. Historically, the Celtics have dominated this matchup, holding a 256-140 advantage in the all-time regular season series. They've also won the last 12 meetings, including a convincing 123-99 victory in their most recent game on December 12, 2024. Both teams are dealing with some injury concerns heading into this game. The Celtics are still without key players Al Horford, Jrue Holiday, and Kristaps Porzingis, while the Pistons are monitoring Simone Fontecchio, who is listed as questionable for this contest. Despite these absences, the Celtics are still favored on the road, thanks to their depth and overall talent. However, the Pistons have been playing some of their best basketball of the season and are relatively healthy, which could set the stage for a potential upset. While the Celtics have already beaten the Pistons 3 times this season, their current injury situation gives Detroit a chance to avoid a season sweep. The Celtics have been winning games, but their performance against the spread has been less impressive, with a record of 25-32-1 this season. They've consistently struggled to cover inflated lines, and that trend might continue here, especially on the second night of a back-to-back. Meanwhile, the Pistons are riding high on their longest winning streak in a decade and have been strong adds lately, going 8-2 in their last 10 games. With the rest advantage and home court edge, the Pistons covering the spread as underdogs feels like the smarter play. So the Detroit Pistons to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Offensively, the Celtics have been consistent all season, averaging 117 points per game. Over their last 10 games entering Tuesday, that number has slightly increased to 118 points per game. While they don't play at a fast pace, ranking 26th in tempo with 97 possessions per game, they make up for it with efficiency, sitting 4th in offensive efficiency this season. On the other hand, the Pistons have been on a roll lately, averaging 125 points per game over their last 10, which is more than 10 points above their season average. They play at a faster pace, ranking 8th in the league with 99.6 possessions per game. The Celtics are 3rd in the league in offensive efficiency, scoring 117 points per 100 possessions, while the Pistons are 14th at 110.8. Given that the Celtics are on the second night of a back-to-back and dealing with travel fatigue, the Pistons might try to push the tempo to wear them down. Still, both teams are scoring at a high level right now, so it's reasonable to expect both sides to put up points in the mid-110 seconds. The over has hit in 5 of the last 7 meetings between these teams, and despite the potential fatigue factor, this game could follow a similar pattern. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Philadelphia 76ers versus New York Knicks. On Wednesday, the Philadelphia 76ers will take on the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. This game marks the 3rd time these Atlantic Division rivals will face off this season. So far, the Knicks have come out on top in both previous matchups and have won 7 of the last 10 games between the two teams. The total points scored in those games have been evenly split, with 5 going over and 5 staying under. The 76ers are still dealing with the absence of Joel Embiid and Kyle Lowry, while the Knicks are keeping keeping a close watch on Karl Anthony Towns, who is listed as questionable for this game. This matchup is the third of 4 scheduled meetings between these division rivals this season. The Knicks have already secured victories in the first 2 games, both straight up and against the spread, and both wins came in Philadelphia. Now, they'll face the 76ers at Madison Square Garden, where they've been strong this season with a 20-10 straight-up record. Although the Knicks have dropped their last 2 games, those losses came against the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference, which should give them some motivation heading into this game. This is a brief 1-game homestand for New York, and it's a game they know they need to win. They're in much better shape than the 76ers at this point in the season. Philadelphia is missing their star big man and a key depth piece, which could create an opportunity for Karl Anthony Towns to have a big game. Towns faced the 76ers only once this season and had an off night, so this is also a chance for him to bounce back. The Knicks have covered the spread in 6 of their last 10 games against the 76ers. The Knicks have covered the spread in just 3 of their last 10 games overall, and there's a possibility they could be without Karl Anthony Towns. Given that, it's hard to feel confident about laying a big number with the Knicks in this matchup. However, things aren't much better for the 76ers, who are 17 games below .500 and have a dismal 20-37 record against the spread. Philadelphia has failed to cover the spread in 9 of their last 10 games. It's tough to make a case for the struggling 76ers, who were recently blown out by the Bulls, a team that has been struggling themselves. On the other hand, the Knicks have been playing decent basketball, and they were always expected to be heavy favorites in this game. If you've been betting against the 76ers all season, you've likely done well for yourself. The 76ers are tied with the Suns for the worst cover percentage in the NBA at just 35%. Until the 76ers can string together a couple of wins, it's probably best to continue fading them. They just don't seem to play with the same intensity for a full 48 minutes as other teams. Keep fading the team from the city of brotherly love. The Knicks, meanwhile, need a win to get back on track, and they've found an ideal opponent to do just that. So the New York Knicks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In the first 2 meetings between these teams, the total points scored were split, with 1 game going over and 1 staying under. They combined to average 227 points, though that number was inflated by an overtime period in their most recent matchup. This game features the 5th best offense in the league going up against the 5th worst. However, neither team plays at a particularly fast pace. New York ranks 24th in possessions per game, and Philadelphia ranks 28th. Both teams average fewer than 90 field goal attempts per game, and they're both in the bottom half of the league in field goals made per game. The 76ers have scored 110 points or fewer in 5 straight games and in 6 of their last 8. The Knicks have scored 105 points in 2 straight games and have been held to 113 or fewer in 5 of their last 8. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Raptors versus Indiana Pacers. The Toronto Raptors, who currently hold a record of 18 wins and 39 losses, are set to take on the Indiana Pacers, standing at 32 wins and 24 losses at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Wednesday, February 26, 2025. This matchup comes as both teams look to either continue their momentum or recover from recent setbacks. The Raptors are entering this game fresh off a 127-109 win against the Phoenix Suns this past Sunday. Despite this victory, their struggles on the road remain a glaring issue. On the other side, the Pacers are aiming to recover from a challenging loss to the Denver Nuggets, which ended their 3-game winning streak. Both teams are dealing with key absences and uncertainties that could impact the game. Toronto continues to miss the presence of Jakob Poeltl and Brandon Ingram due to injuries. Meanwhile, the Pacers are keeping a close watch on T.J. McConnell and Tyrese Halliburton, both of whom are listed as questionable for the upcoming game. The Raptors are also dealing with fatigue, having just played a back-to-back set that included a tough loss to the Celtics. The Pacers, who are gaining momentum before their loss to the Nuggets, are looking to capitalize on their home court advantage. The Raptors find themselves in a difficult position, having to play on the road after facing the reigning NBA champions, the Boston Celtics, just the night before. The Pacers have been strong this season when they have the rest advantage, boasting a 7-3 record against the spread in such scenarios. Additionally, they have been formidable as home favorites, with a 13-5 record against the spread. In contrast, the Raptors have struggled in similar situations, holding a disappointing 4-10 record against the spread when at a rest disadvantage this season. Historically, the last 10 meetings between these two teams have been evenly matched, with each team securing 5 wins. Notably, the Raptors have won both encounters this season, but both games were played in Toronto. This time, the setting shifts to Indiana, where the Pacers have a slight edge with a 3-2 record against the Raptors on their home court. Given Toronto's poor 5-21 road record this season, the Pacers are in a favorable position to secure a win. Considering the Raptors' likely fatigue and the Pacers' desire to rebound from their recent loss, Indiana's high-powered offense is expected to overwhelm Toronto, so the Indiana Pacers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full-game side pick. While both teams feature standout defensive players, their overall defensive depth has been lacking this season. Both teams have allowed opponents to score over 115 points per game, and the over has hit in both of their matchups this year. For the Raptors, the over has been a common outcome in their recent games, with a 7-3 record in their last 10 and 8 of those games seeing 110 or more points allowed. Similarly, the Pacers have seen the over hit in 6 of their last 10 games, with all but one of those games exceeding 115 points. Both teams have demonstrated their ability to score, with the Pacers ranking 9th in the league in scoring and the Raptors recently dropping 127 points on the Suns. Indiana's defense, which allows 115.6 points per game, could give Toronto opportunities to score. However, the Raptors' defense has been even more porous, ranking 25th in the league with 116 points allowed per game. With the Pacers' fast-paced style and efficient shooting going up against a tired Raptors defense, this game is likely to be high-scoring. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.